Smile.
Well, we don't actually have Bugs Bunny and Spider-Man as guests. We do have the men behind the scenes, the fathers of those cartoon characters, Bob Clampett and Stan Lee. And we'll be talking with Mr. Clampett about Bugs Bunny's 37-year history, and with Mr. Lee about Spider-Man's million comic books a month circulation when we come back after this word from one of the many fine products of General Foods, Orange Plus.
Good morning, breakfasting day.
I don't deserve this, and I certainly don't deserve this.
What?
You get fresh squeezed orange juice, and I don't.
You like the leading frozen orange juice. Think it's closest to fresh. This is Orange Plus.
Has pulp like fresh.
Orange Plus tastes more like fresh than your number one.
Want to switch?
Orange Plus, frozen concentrate for orange breakfast beverage.
Orange Plus tastes closer to fresh.
Some fruit and cereal lovers think they know how to have fruit with their cereal, until the fruit's all gone and there's nothing left but cereal. That's why Post puts so many raisins into Post Raisin Bran. Post mixes the whole grain goodness of wheat and bran with so many sweet, chewy raisins, you can get raisins in every spoonful. If you can get every spoonful.
Post Raisin Bran, the fruit and cereal lover cereal. To a child who doesn't read, the world is a closed book. That's why a non-profit organization, RIF, Reading is Fundamental, helps get books to children who have no books of their own. Books they can choose themselves, for keeps, to make them want to read. And it works. Please help. Your contribution is tax deductible. Send a check to RIF Incorporated, Box 23444, Washington, D.C.
I bought an air conditioner.
An air conditioner?
Not that kind of air conditioner. This kind. New Glade Solid Air Freshener. Conditions the air and gets rid of odors.
How do you plug it in?
You don't, Herb. It's an air freshener. Glade Solid. See, this ventilation system works continuously so the air smells fresh and clean.
Fits in the window?
It's not an air conditioner. It's an air conditioner.
Oh, really?
New Glade Solid eliminates odors and conditions the air.
Our guests are Bob Clampett and Stan Lee. Bob was one of the creators of Bugs Bunny, and Stan is the writer-editor and mad genius behind Spider-Man and a lot of other so-called comic book superheroes. Gentlemen, welcome to Good Morning America.
Thank you, David.
You have brightened up our day already.
Well, I'm ready to go. Thank you very much.
Good. When we brought your films to the cutting rooms here at ABC, the whole place fell apart. The film editors, they're all adults, and they came running in. Several wanted your autographs. Now, why is it, gentlemen, that adults should send the entire film editing operation into chaos? Adults seeing your cartoon. Why?
We actually wrote our cartoons for adults.
You did?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, we figured that the kids are smarter than adults, so if we wrote it for the adults, everybody would love it, you see.
Oh.
Actually, the thing about Marvel Comics is they were always planned for the college-age audience, vocabulary-wise, plot-wise, and everything. And as with Bob, not that we thought kids are that much smarter, but we figured that it's possible to appeal to adults without losing the kids, because comics have a dual appeal. You know, you've got the color, the action, the fantasy for the young kids. Now, if you put in some good storylines and some science fiction angles and satire and philosophy, then you grab the older reader, and it seems to work.
That's exciting. Where did Bugs Bunny get his carrot, Bob?
Well, actually, it was seeing Clark Gable chew on a carrot like this in a movie called It Happened One Night by Frank Capra. And upon sight of him doing that, gave the idea, and so we gave the carrot to Bugs Bunny.
I wouldn't be surprised, but most of the things that cartoon characters do in all cartoons have been drawn from real life. Is that true?
Always. Almost always, yeah.
I always thought real life was taken from cartoons.
Stan, Spider-Man, is he the same kind of cartoon character as we had, let's say, when I was a kid?
Oh, no way. I think the prime difference is, in fact, all of the Marvel characters, and you know, we have dozens and dozens. Spider-Man is our leading hero, but we have so many others. But the angle is we've tried to change the image of the cardboard character, the one-dimensional hero. Previously, all comic book heroes were all good. They never did anything wrong. At the end of the story, they had conquered the villain and they went off into the sunset. villains were all bad. Well, our heroes are less than perfect. They worry about allergy attacks, about dandruff, their socks fall down. You know, anything can happen to them. And even our villains have some lovable traits. So the main idea is to try to present these nutty fairy tale type of characters the way they might be if they lived in the real world, you see.
Where'd Bugs Bunny change? Has he changed from the beginning?
Just like all growing boys, Bugs changes, yes. Actually...
When did he start? When did you do it?
Well, the very first little Bugs Bunny cartoon was in 1938, early in 38.
Yeah.
In 1940, the film that you just saw is the scene in which, the picture in which he first said, "What's up, Doc?" And that will be part of our new movie, Bugs Bunny Superstar, which is opening around the country.
And when's that open?
It opens in Los Angeles the 21st, which is next Friday, a week from today, and in New York on Christmas Day.
Now, Bugs, how many of those did you make over the years?
Well,
when did you stop?
Actually, the filming on the Bugs Bunny stopped in 1962, but there's always been new things done. For example, I recently was in Pittsburgh, and just as a joke, I suggested to the Pittsburgh Pirates, instead of having that square-looking guy in the pirate hat, what you ought to have is Yosemite Sam with his pirate hat and his scabbard, his cutlass. And, you know, they called back and they said, "Hey, that's a pretty good idea." And so now they've made arrangements with Warner Brothers to do that, and I'm going to be animating their billboards, you know, Yosemite Sam on the electronic billboard. So the characters never stop, you see.
How many stories have you written, Stan, in your lifetime?
Okay, I think I've probably written more stories that have been published than anybody who's ever lived, you know. For a period of over 30 years, I never wrote less than 2 complete comic books a week. In fact, I'm waiting for the Guinness Book of Records to discover me.
Is there a serious side to these books and films? I mean, a really
surely
serious side? Are you trying to communicate values?
Well, the big thing is, speaking for the books at any rate, basically they're entertainment. And you can't really entertain people, whether it's children or older readers, without making them think, without giving them some value, some philosophical concepts that they could sink their teeth into. We do it subtly and subliminally because you can't say to a reader, "Hey, this is something good for you and it's going to educate you." But between the lines.
It's in between. We've just got a few seconds. Would you answer one thing that's been bothering me for a long time? Why does Porky Pig stutter?
Why does he stutter?
Yeah.
Well, actually, the very first voice man that we had on Porky stuttered. He couldn't help it. And may I also mention that this evening I'm going to be at Northwestern University putting on a big Warner Brothers cartoon show at 7 o'clock.
I wish I could be there with you.
I wish you could, David.
Bob and Stan, thank you for a delightful morning. And as Bugs Bunny would say,
that's all, folks. But that's Porky that says that.
That's Porky? Certainly it is.
Wish I could think of something Spider-Man said.
Show them their Spider-Man underwear, Stan.
For both being with us this morning, we've been talking to Bob Clampett, co-creator of Bugs Bunny, and Stan Lee, the creator of Spider-Man and publisher of Marvel Comics. But for the rest of the show, that's not all, folks. In fact, we'll be right back after this word from Melita Coffee Makers.
Heaven knows it's not easy being chief cook for the angels. Everything must be clean and pure. Cleanliness is next to goodliness, especially in making coffee. I use Melita filter drip coffee makers. They're designed clean, nowhere for bitter residue to hide, easy to keep clean. The filter top goes right in the dishwasher. Electric drips, manual, a 1 cup, and pure filter paper. Bless you, Melita.
Melita, because cleanliness is next to goodliness.
All life